So it's a 3-step framework, okay? Called DDC, right? Dedicate, to make it easier to remember, right? And it's how to gain a competitive advantage in today's society. You become of value to society by giving society what it wants, but does not yet know how to get at scale. In other words, if you're doing the same thing as everyone else, then what's the value in it, right? If you want uncommon results, you have to do uncommon things. So the 3-step framework, DDC, is direction, diet, and consistency. Now, diet, I'm not talking about like how many McSpicy's do you eat. I'm talking information diet, right? What do you give your brain to work with? What data set do you have? All right, direction, this one's simple, okay? You're just picking what you're interested in. But the difficulty where people mess up is decision paralysis. They don't know what to do, so they do nothing, right? You need to shoot the gun to adjust the scope, right? And the quicker you do that, then the quicker you'll be able to start gaining momentum. Simply choose what interests you, right? Tech, design, entrepreneurship, politics, science, whatever, right? Whatever you like, okay? You don't overthink it. Don't try precisely define it. Just roughly, what are you interested in? It's gonna evolve, right? So don't worry about trying to figure it all out at once, okay? Like Larry Ellison, you guys know who this is? The richest guy in the world. You don't know who Larry Ellison is? Okay. Well, you know Oracle, the company? Yeah. So he founded Oracle. He founded it in his 30s, right? You don't need to figure it all out on day one. You just need to be making progress. The reason people fail and they get into that employment trap and they're stuck doing something they're not really passionate about, and if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be great, right? It's because they don't shoot the gun to at least adjust the scope. When you look back, you'll be able to join the dots, but you can't join the dots going forward. You just need to follow your heart. Sounds corny, but follow your heart. Trust it'll work out. Steve Jobs said that. Diet. Okay, this one is particularly relevant to your guys of your age. You do not let an AI algorithm dictate what data set you have, right? If we go back to our original theory, if you're doing the same thing as everyone else, where's the value in it? If you're consuming the same information, same news, same memes, by definition, your data set is generic. So how are you meant to produce novel analysis? So to assess your information diet, what topic can you talk for ages about? Do you know the latest updates, recognize names, trends, drama, have strong opinions on it, right? Maybe it's Clash Royale at this age, right? Maybe it's just knowing the meta, okay? But like soon, when it's time to grow up and actually think, what do you want to do with your life? This needs to be aligned with your direction, okay? Your diet needs to be aligned with the direction you chose. Yeah, if the answer to this is influencer beef or Clash Royale meta, you haven't grown up yet. Consistency. So you've got your direction, you've got your diet aligned. Now it's time to execute, right? This is hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But that's the value, right? Back to our original theory. That's why we want to do it. That's why it's valuable. So it's not hard in the sense that it's just one extremely tough maths problem like that. It's something you just have to think really hard and figure out. It's tough in the sense that it's an easy problem, but you got to do it day in and day out. And that's most people just can't do that. And that's why it's valuable. Like it's actually not hard. It's pretty easy. All you can do is figure out what you want to do, then do it every day. And then like 3 years will go by and you'll be doing whatever you want. Whatever your dream life is, you'll be able to do that. Would you rather give the game-winning shot to someone who trained super hard last week or someone who's been getting, maybe 70 shots up every day for the past few years, right? No brainer. So your ability to remain consistent is vital. And that's why choosing a direction you genuinely like is vital. Because that means you have a diet you want to follow, right? Consuming content you actually want to consume, learning about things you want to learn about, right? So again, do not fall into the trap of just doing something because you think it's prestigious. Even if you are super money orientated, like me, ironically, not thinking about the money and just doing what you're interested in will allow you to differentiate and allow you to gain that value. So to recap, a competitive advantage requires novelty, okay? Uncommon results, uncommon things. To gain a competitive advantage, DDC framework, dedicate, right? Direction, diet, consistency. Yeah, good. The next step to actually apply it, right? All you can do is just get a note in your phone, right? Maybe this will be like an intimate note you have, something you carry with you. Maybe just title it, what do I want to get out of my life? Actualizing my dream life. And then you just jot down your possible directions. And you know that next week, it might be different to this week. It probably will. At this early stage, you don't really know. You just got to try different things. Like So I feel the app I'm making is going to be my end business, my life's work. But my first two businesses failed. And so this is the fourth business it took to discover that, right? So you've got to shoot the gun to adjust the scope. Get excited, right? Because now your work, okay, other people's work is stuff they don't really love. But now your work, right, is doing what you actually love and what you can be confident you're going to be the best at. Because while everyone weans off, you're staying consistent. And that's how you create the wedge. And that's how you create your dream life. Thanks for coming, guys.